KRISPY had an extraordinary Legends League season in May, finishing 4th in the world, and today we're not only going to showcase his attacks, but also his base that helped him finish at 6,162 trophies. So let's start off with the attacks. What was his army composition? Well, he's coming in with Royal Champion Charge Root Riders, which for me is kind of easily the strongest Town Hall 17 attack in the game. So Royal Champion Charge comes in here, and you can kind of tell how strong this is because he messes up this invis. He thought the Royal Champion was going down. She goes up, so he does use an invis completely unnecessarily. And then it is going to throw his timings off a bit. He does really well here though. So Royal Champion targets the Builder Hut, and then he puts the invis down early here. He didn't want the Town Hall to target the Fox, because if you can keep the Fox alive, which he does by the barest of margins, it does make a huge difference in this second stage of the attack. He poisons the Double Furnace CC. That's why you bring a poison spell, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in terms of the other hero equipment, it's pretty standard for Root Riders. For the Queen, some people bring different things. You just saw the giant arrow shooting across the top of the base, and then there we are. So coming straight into the Town Hall here, obviously we want to maximize this Eternal Tome ability to make sure that, you know, we're negating as much damage as possible. What's really interesting here is he's not only got the Snake Bracelet, but he's got 2 Witches as well. You can see them on the side of the base here, and they just help with the Snake Bracelet. So there's just so many snakes and skeletons, and it just makes it really hard for the base to even target the Barbarian King. And even if the base does target the Barbarian King, how are you going to take him down with all those passive stats? It really is quite ridiculous. Obviously, it's not an insane ability by itself, but the Snake Bracelet, when you're using the Barbarian King as a funnel, it's just a perfect combination, honestly. We get into the back end of the base here. This is where we use our one and only rage spell, and there is a NATO here, but the spiky ball finishes off that geared up defense, and that is the end of the resistance for this base. And what I love about this attack strategy is it feels like you can make some mistakes with it. You saw at the start KRISPY with the Royal Champion Charge. Even some of the time with a bit of the funneling in this attack, you can make mistakes, but you're still able to get 3 stars because this whole attack strategy is about how broken hero equipment is, especially when you just take defensive walls out of the equation. Royal Champion starting as far away from the Town Hall as possible. Obviously, it's not bad to Royal Champion charge the Town Hall like you saw in the last attack, but the Town Hall in between the gaps of your invis spell and the Fox going invisible, the Town Hall will often get at least 1 shot off, sometimes even 2, as in 1 on either side of the invis. Beautiful invis here to force the Royal Champion into the center, because we didn't really want her going around the edge here. And now she's going to get rid of not only a poison tower, but also the geared up defense here. Beautifully done. As I was saying, you don't really want to go to for the Town Hall unless you have to. It still is really good value, but yeah, you do not want to lose the Fox at all, because even if the Fox is low HP, once you pop that Warden ability with the Healing Tome, because the Royal Champion is with the main Root Rider push, then you are going to be able to heal it back up fresh as new. We got the Troop Launcher on the left-hand side here. You don't need the Siege Barracks with this hit when you've got the Barbarian King and the Witches just setting an impossible funnel, and often the Queen is helping on the funnel as well. With this attack, it doesn't matter as much. You can use the Queen in the center, you can use her on the outside. It's up to you. You see the Troop Launcher spawning in balloons, so I believe he's bringing 2 Yetis and 3 balloons, and those balloons are so nice. Look at it, protect the healers beautifully. Nicely done there, and we have so many troops on the top of this Town Hall. The overgrowth's on the back end of the base, but I reckon most of the time KRISPY does this army. He just doesn't need the overgrowth at all. Royal Champion now is doing damage from range. We just don't want her to get in front and take too much damage, so look at this, getting beautiful value there. Gonna slightly path differently, and that is what happens. She does path differently to the Root Riders, so she will go down here, but doesn't really matter. Look at how many troops are still alive on the outside of the base. Still got that spiky ball ability. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is how, based on offense, KRISPY was able to get above 6,000 trophies. But for most people, offense it's not a given at the top of Legends League, but most people can average above 310 in this meta. But how can you defend? So here is the base KRISPY is running. Now, he didn't build the original version of this base because it is a relatively common layout, but he has heavily tweaked it, or at least moderately tweaked it to be slightly different. The link for this will be in the comments down below. It will not be in the description. So if you've watched this far in the video, well done. You've got that juicy piece of goss. So the Royal Champion Charge on the left-hand side. Now, whilst this is all happening, I want you to look at probably the most pay-to-win thing on defense in this game, and that is having an absurd number of obstacles. It makes it so hard to visualize the base. It is so confusing. I absolutely hate it. So KRISPY, you're on my naughty list. Yeah, KRISPY's kind of dead to me for this. Whenever I see this, I get visibly upset. Have a look at the furnace CC here, though. So KRISPY isn't just running one furnace. He's running three. Three furnaces. Now, if you have a poison spell, this is a pretty easy CC to deal with. But as you saw there, it can definitely mess up the pathing of the Royal Champion. Whereas the Ice Golems, they don't really mess up the pathing. It's just more if she targets it. But you can kind of invis a defensive Ice Golem if need be. If there's a million Fire Mites everywhere, you can't invis all of them. The Royal Champion will charge after one. And you see here, no poison in the Root Rider army. That's why I pointed that out earlier when KRISPY uses a poison with this army. Because some of your favorite players in the world, I know for instance Stars and Gaku, do not bring a poison spell with their Root Rider spam attacks. And people like KRISPY love that. Because that furnace, it doesn't look like it does an insane amount of damage, but it's just a pain to deal with. It minimized the Royal Champion charge value. It forced an early Warden ability, because you're not just doing damage to one unit, you're doing damage to most of the army. And even worse, they stay alive forever. Now, I don't really agree with the Overgrowth spell that was used in this attack. It was a little questionable. So I don't know if this would have still been a 3-star, even if the Overgrowth was a bit better placed. Who really knows? It does make sense, kind of, that it was put in the center because of all the rage defenses, but also, you don't want the defenses coming from behind you on the back end of the base like what has happened here. Often it's best to leave, like, maybe the Town Hall at least visible, or at minimum leave this defense visible, because then you can attack it from behind during the Overgrowth, rather than waiting for the Overgrowth to end and then attacking from right in front of it. KRISPY gets a little unlucky here. This is barely a 2-star attack, but still, you'll take it in this meta. 2 stars on defense, no 3-star attack against the strongest army in the game. And the other most popular army in the game, obviously Royal Champion Charge still, but into Mass Dragons. Now, this attacker here is bringing a recall spell, but have a look at all these bombs. Ridiculous bait. Ridiculous bait. Even more bombs. More is... What? No way. That just about killed the Royal Chair. Ah! I promise you, I forgot how many bombs were here. What? That's like every bomb on the base. Well, it's pretty easy to see where KRISPY is baiting in this base. And, yeah. Not much value got there from the Royal Champion, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 bombs. That doesn't include the Giga Bomb either. 8 bombs. Well, the Giga Bomb's like a Mega Bomb. Well, Giga Bomb. So 7 bombs plus a Giga Bomb. Yep, that's the simplest way to put it. So this attacker here does well with the Giant Arrow. Obviously going to activate the core of the base there. But yeah, how do you recover this after such a diabolical start? The attacker did absolutely nothing wrong. Just ran into a mega bait. And yet again, you're going to see the exact same problem here. Forcing out a slightly earlier Eternal Tome than the attacker wanted, because Quad Furnace CC is genuinely... it's rude. Now, unfortunately for KRISPY there, the Dark Orb hard counters all of those air skeletons. If the Dark Orb hadn't been popped yet though, those air skeletons would have been a real pain for all the dragons, and oh my lord, there's more of them. Does KRISPY have an unnatural amount of traps? Maybe this is why he's defending so well. Bro has a million extra traps to me. Unfortunately for KRISPY, yet again, it's not quite a 1-star attack. It is pretty close to the 1-star, but can't quite get the job done. Obviously, offense super strong, but getting this close to a 1-star is a sign of a good base. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to remind you, KRISPY is 4th in the world. It's not like bad attackers are finding him. Congrats again to KRISPY on an amazing Legends League season. He is part of the Blueprint team, so as far as I know, he does do base building. So if you want an OP base, well, you know where to go, because if this man finished 4th in the world, he knows what he's doing.